Today we're going to talk about something very specific, the date Sam Altman has set for when artificial intelligence will surpass human intelligence. According to him and his team, March 2028 will be the point when AI can conduct complete research projects without human assistance. They present this not as a hunt, but as a roadmap backed by energy contracts, pre-ordered chips, and infrastructure currently being built. To understand why they're confident about such a precise date, we first need to examine what kind of systems they're developing. Their new reasoning model can think for hours or days before responding, instead of blurting out the first thing that comes to mind. It generates multiple possible solutions, tests them by eliminating failures, and refines the best one. It's like cloning a genius repeatedly and having all copies work together on the same problem, sharing breakthroughs instantly. This way of working opens the door to what they call recursive improvement. We can imagine a recipe passed between apprentice chefs, each one improving it slightly. The results they show are heading in that direction. Compared to previous models, this new approach has boosted performance in demanding tasks like math Olympiads and competitive programming approaching top human students level. They estimate a model can now do several hours of human intellectual work, and this gap is rapidly widening. All this comes at a huge energy and hardware cost, with over 30 gigawatts of computing power committed, backed by major deals with chip manufacturers, data centers, and energy companies. And facilities are already underway with their midterm plan to build something like a gigawatt factory, capable of adding 1 gigawatt of capacity weekly if funding and demand align. With this foundation, they divide the roadmap into very clear phases. By September 2026, they expect to have AI research assistants at intern level. Systems that accelerate human researchers' work, though still requiring oversight. And by March 2028, they aim for autonomous AI researchers capable of designing experiments, executing them, analyzing results, and proposing new hypotheses without direct human intervention. The key is they no longer see algorithms as the main limitation, but hardware, and hardware follows schedules, not wishes. And in their view, this technology's deepest impact won't just be economic, but scientific. They believe these systems can compress decades of progress into just a few years and describe data centers fully dedicated to single challenges like finding new antibiotics, designing advanced materials, developing cleaner energy, or discovering disease treatment. With sufficient computing power, they could explore combinations that would take human teams centuries to review. They acknowledge this isn't simply an extension of traditional computing, but a shift potentially leading to superintelligence, systems more capable than any human in many critical areas. That's why they focus heavily on safety and value alignment, what the AI prioritizes, how it follows instructions, whether it can gauge its uncertainty, how it resists manipulation, and what external safeguards protect the entire system. To sustain this plan, they're also reorganizing the human and institutional aspect, creating a large non-profit foundation that controls a public-purpose company, with the aim of allocating significant resources to AI projects they consider especially beneficial. Their initial objectives are to apply AI to combat diseases and build a new field of AI resilience, an ecosystem prepared to respond to risks like potential biological misuse, employment impacts, and mental health effects. And now we come to the big question everyone asks: how is this different from just another tech bubble? They argue that here the product already exists and works, that the committed funds aren't just speculative bets, but signed contracts to build chips, factories, and data centers, and that they're not alone. Other major labs share the belief that we can compress a century of scientific progress into just 1 or 2 decades, if their bet pays off. March 2028 would mark the beginning of an era where the cost of doing science would plummet while the creation of new knowledge explodes. If not, they'll have invested colossal sums trying to buy brute force computing power, something human ingenuity might not surrender so easily. So that's it. Tell me what you think about Sam Altman's statements regarding superintelligence coming in March 2028, and I'll see you in future videos.